Welcome to Cook and Impress with Bina. Today I'm going to show you how to make samosas, a traditional Indian starter, or you could use them as canapes. So to start off with, let's go through the ingredients. I've got 4 medium boiled potatoes which I've chopped in cubes, as you can see, 500 grams of frozen peas, 2 medium carrots which I've chopped also in fine cubes, 1 onion, again cubed, or you can chop it if you've got a chopper, some coriander, some ginger there which is crushed, some oil, and then finally some lemons to finish off. And as far as spices are concerned, we're going to use cumin, some fresh cinnamon, turmeric, chili, and most importantly the garam masala. Right, so let's start cooking. I'm sure this is going to impress your guests. So I'm using a large pan which is like a kadai, and I like actually cooking in these because they're non-stick and the vegetables cook really well in these. Okay, to start with we're going to take some oil. So I would say use about 4 tablespoons of oil, and to that, as it gets warmer, add some cumin seeds. I'd say about 2 tiny teaspoons of cumin seeds. Cumin seeds gives it a bit of flavouring, and some fresh cinnamon sticks. So I'd use about 2 tiny ones. I think gives it a good flavour, and if you want more you can add more depending on the type of flavour that you like. Right, once that it starts to flutter, which should be in a minute or so, we're going to add to that some onions. So let's get our onions ready. But when you see the cumin seeds begin to flutter and make a bit of noise, you can add your onions to it. So I'm going to add, I'd say about 3/4, because this is fairly a large onion that I use. So 3/4 onion, and the heat is fairly high. I'd say about medium heat. And to that I'd like to add some ginger. So I'd say that would be about a teaspoon of fresh ginger which is crushed. And the reason we put it in the oil is so the aroma, the flavours come out best when they are actually fried with the onions at the time of stewing. We're going to let the onions stew for about 2 to 3 minutes till they get slightly soft and the colour changes. Right, and I think it's beginning to look a bit soft and a bit suited. We can add to this some carrots. The reason we're adding carrots first is because they're the hardest texture of all the ingredients that we're going to be using today. So right, and as you can see, I've used all of the carrots, which are about 2 medium carrots there. Again, continue stirring so you're getting even oil all around the pan. Beginning to look colourful already, as you can see. Okay, so once the carrots have been cooking for about 1 or 2 minutes, you can add your peas to it. These are frozen peas that I'm using, and there's about 500 grams of frozen peas that I've used. So at this stage I normally like to, once you've mixed it quite well, I'd like to add some water, and you know, it's just a little bit, I'd say about 3 or 4 tablespoons, just to get the mixture slightly soaked in, and that's going to help it cook as well. That I'm going to start off with 2 teaspoons of salt, just a pinch of turmeric, I'd say about less than a quarter teaspoon, just to give it a bit of colour, so it doesn't look too bland. Anyway, turmeric is very good for you. And we're going to allow this to cook for a while, and when that has cooked for a while, we can add our potatoes and the additional spices. So what I like to do at this point is just add a handful of coriander, just so that your peas and your carrots get a bit of flavour as well. And I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'd say more 15 minutes. Now it depends on how hot your gas is. So I'd allow that to cook for 15 minutes, and then we'll add on the rest of the ingredients. Once this has been cooking for about 5 minutes, what we need to do is turn down our gas and let it cook at a really low heat for further 10 minutes. Now while that is cooking, we're going to get our samosa pastry ready, and for that I have used, you can use phyllo pastry, which is available in supermarkets, or you could use a samosa pastry, which is available from most Indian greengrocers. These come as frozen, so you need to defrost them as per instructions on the packaging. And what I've done is I've defrosted some, and I'm going to show you how to make them. So let's take a pile here. I usually like to use double, and it's important that you use double pastry soaking. So we've got 1, and the portion that we've cooked today will allow you to make at least 20 large samosas of that size, or about 30 smaller samosas. So let's get the pastry out, and if you need to defrost it for at least 4 hours, I'd say, to get them easy to peel. Right. So what we're going to do is, to help us get the pastry to go together and to hold, we're going to make some glue, and for that I have used 4 tablespoons of plain flour, and to that we're going to add some water. Water to that, and make it really in a gooey texture, so it looks like glue. So again, that's quite thick, so we can add a bit more water. But we're going to do a few. Okay, so we come to the crunch of making our pastry now, getting it ready. And for that, you've got to make sure that your 2 pastry layers are quite easily bind. And excuse me for using my hand, but I think this is the best way to do it. Okay, so I like to make sure that the edges are properly sealed. There we go, and you can see all the edges are quite properly sealed, and no one can tell that you've got 2 layers there. Okay, so to start with, what you need to do is bring your left corner right into the center. So you've got it just there. Fold it down, and I'd like to just glue it just there. Apply glue, and then bring in the right hand side of the corner to the middle here and just stick them down. There you go, that's stuck, and you've got your samosa pocket. Okay, so I've got a few pockets ready, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them in my damp cloth again so they don't dry up, and we're going to finish off our masala. So let's get back to where we were. Just rinse my hands quickly. Right, have a look at, there we are. As you can see, that's already cooked, and the best way to tell is you can see your carrots are quite soft and chewed. So let's put them in there. Okay, so now to add the rest of our ingredients, we're going to put in the potatoes, and again I've got 4 medium potatoes there. So let's see how they go. There we go. Okay, so our potatoes are in. I'm going to put in the rest of the coriander. Okay. And as you can see, it's mixing quite well, and your gas should still be at low heat while you're doing this, which allows the mixture to mix well. Okay. Right, so it's now time to add the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to add the garam masala. This is a combination of cinnamon, some cloves, some coriander, cumin and fennel seeds, but you can buy the ready-made garam masala from the shops. Okay, available in most Indian groceries as well as supermarkets now. So put that in. I also at this stage like to add my red chili. Now the reason we add the red chili right at the end is so that you maintain your color. You don't want it to start looking really soggy and all red. And the same applies with the garam masala. Always add the garam masala at the end when everything is cooked, so you don't, your masala and the colors of the vegetables remain the same. You add the chili to your taste. I've added about 1 teaspoon, and you can add more. So gently mix this up. As you can see, we've managed to keep the colors of all our vegetables, and yet the masala is fully mixed. The aroma is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so now we can add some lemon, and I've sort of de-seeded half a lemon, which I'm going to add at this point. The gas is still at slow, very at the bare minimum. Okay, so I'm going to add my lemon juice stage. Okay. Right. Okay, so gently stir your mixture over. And as you can see, it's not a soggy mixture. All the vegetables are quite separate, and that's the way you want it to be, because if it's really soggy, I think you lose that traditionality of the samosas. Okay, so there you go, your samosa mixture is quite loose, but you know, it should be quite dry. Okay, right, so we've got the mixture ready. I'm going to now switch